I am so grateful you are here with me. Welcome if you're live, or welcome to the replay. This is February's monthly alignment check in. We're going to check in and we're going to be intentional so that we can ensure that our energy is going to what matters most. I'm super excited because today is a full moon. So happy full moon. I encourage you, as you are thinking about this monthly alignment, let's take a moment to ground ourselves so that we can be fully present as we check in to what matters most, collect data from the most important place of all right here with you, and create one defining action step that will help us stay in alignment with what matters most. So if you are sitting, if you can feel your feet firmly planted on the ground, if you're standing, that's okay. Same thing. Just focus on the soles of the feet. Inhaling into the soles of the feet. Exhaling, letting go. And as we bring awareness to the breath, inhaling in to the deepest part of your belly. And with each exhale, letting go of any tension, letting go of any thoughts that are keeping you from being right here, right now. Few more deep breaths, inhaling in, exhaling out. One last breath, inhaling in, exhaling out. Welcome to February 2026. This month's affirmation: I trust my inner guidance to lead me forward. Such an important affirmation. How often are we checking outside, right? And I invite you to check in here first. You are the expert of you. No one knows you better. Let's remember to check in here first. So I trust my inner guidance to lead me forward. And if you're wondering, I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to work this out. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay. If you're wondering what I'm sharing on the screen, this is from the Live Your Best Life 2026. It's available on digital and print. And the most important question, are you ready? What matters most to you? Take a moment to connect deeply with what matters most. And if you can, write it down. What matters most to me is my health, my family, and building legacy. What matters most to you? This is the North Star. This is our beacon. And when we check in with what matters most and start to identify where we want to invest our time, what actions we want to take, coming from the place of what matters most is so beneficial. You'll be more efficient, you'll be more productive, you'll have more energy, and it will most benefit your health when you align your actions to what matters most. So here's our first question. We're going to collect data from the most important place of all. You are the most important place. What is one realistic action I can take to align with what matters most to me? I invite you not to overthink this and just to listen for the answer that comes. Oh my gosh, right away for me, it was move your body. At any time, if you want to share anything that you realize for yourself, I invite you to type in the comments, or if you don't feel comfortable, you can send me a message. I love connecting. If you chose a word of the year, this is a good time to remember what that was. And if you haven't, you can do it right now. All you have to do is ask yourself, how do I most want to feel this year? For me, it's alive. The reason I ask this question, so we start with what matters most because we're grounding ourselves in what matters. That is the most powerful. It has the most amount of motivation and will help you align your actions in the best way possible. When you ask yourself, what is your word of the year? That also serves as a mechanism to choose the best action steps possible. So for me, I'm constantly thinking of what matters most to me and how can I align my actions to that, and what's my word of the year. So what matters most, I shared that earlier, my family, my health, my legacy, building legacy, and this year I want to feel alive. So as I'm creating goals and action steps, I'm making sure that whatever action I set, it makes me feel alive. And I'm making sure that it aligns with what matters most to me. We are more successful when we operate this way. I invite you to try it. All right. Again, we're collecting data from the most important place of all, you. We cannot manage what we don't measure. I just, for today, I'm inviting you to look at this circle and pick pick the area that's like this, like, hello, help, pay attention to me. And it's human nature to want to fix many things, but just for today, if you will humor me and choose the one that most needs your attention. And don't overthink this. The good news is whichever area you work on, it affects the rest. I'm looking at this, and right away for me, it is relationships. That's the one that stands out. Okay? I hope you have yours. The area that most needs your attention. Okay. So what I want to focus on is this second question. Which area is challenging me the most and why? These questions are really simple, and yet they're so powerful. If you are like most people, including me, a lot of your time is spent moving from task to task. There's a lot coming at you. And so it's rare to take the time to notice what's going on. And we really need that time. When we invest a few minutes to look at what is challenging, it's so interesting. We don't even have to do anything. Our mind naturally starts to problem solve. But we're going to take it even a step further. So, which is that area that was like, hello, pay attention to me? Which area is most challenging and why? For me, relationships. Relationships need my attention. And I'm going to ask myself, what is one realistic action I can take to improve this area of my life? Now, please hone in on the realistic. I know for me, I think big, and a lot of the people I work with do that, and that's great. And there's room for an even better yet in this moment to take that big thing that we're visualizing it and funnel it down to one small realistic action. And then we're going to make it smart. Okay, so my area is relationships. I'll use myself an example. And the one realistic action for me, it is to pay attention to when I'm interacting with others, if that interaction is feeding me in a positive way or if it's draining me. That's the action step that I really feel called to take. How do I make that smart? Okay, just as a reminder, SMART just means specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic, and time sensitive. So each day, at the end of the day, I'm going to take 2 to 3 minutes to reflect on my interactions. And I'm going to notice, did the interactions feed me in a positive way or did they drain me? At this point, that's what I want to do. That's my goal, is just to pay attention and collect data. And how does this benefit what matters most to me? Well, it absolutely benefits me because the more I invest in interactions that feed me in a positive way, the more energy I have for my family, for my health, and for building legacy. So, this is important. Okay, now I invite you to pick your one realistic action, make it smart, and connect it. Identify how it supports what matters most to you. This sounds simple and it's also incredibly powerful. We connect it to what matters most because when it comes to follow through, if we have an understanding how this action step will make a difference to what matters most to us, we're more likely to follow through, especially in those moments when we get busy and overwhelmed or distracted. This helps to keep us in alignment. All right. Because it is the full moon, I do want to end with a question. So today's a full moon, and from today to the 16th, the moon is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. It's such a wonderful time. If um, if this resonates, I invite you to think about what you want to release. We can mirror nature in that way. The moon is faithful and it faithfully decreases, decreases, decreases until it disappears and it's the new moon. And we can use nature's example as a motivator to let go. So you might think about a thought that you want to let go. Maybe there's a thought you have that's not helpful. Maybe there's a habit you want to release. Maybe there's a pattern. Maybe there is a food that doesn't feel good. And so you've decided that for the next 14 days, you're going to just not have that food. You're going to let it go to see if it benefits your health. So you can pick anything. If this sounds meaningful to you, I invite you to think of something that you will release or let go in the next 14 days. I am rooting for your success, and I just want to thank you for taking time to think about where you are and what matters most, and just thinking about which area of your life needs your attention, setting an action step. When you take time to take care of yourself, You role model this behavior to everyone around you, and we are absolutely better together. I would love to hear from you if any of this resonated, if you had any aha moments, and I invite you to share this with your network if you found it helpful. Thank you so much, and I hope you have the most beautiful day ever. Thank you. Bye.